We're on our way.
Roger that. Make it quick.
Alright, so the normal way to grab the Banshee in the AOTCR Legendary is over at the Arch here. We call this Arch Grab. Well, I call it Arch Grab. But there's a faster way. It's a lot harder though. We use the rim to catch the Banshee here, and then we can just jump straight in. Now, I wouldn't recommend going for the strat unless you have like a sub 350 time or you're going for a recce. It's really hard, there's a lot of RNG, it only saves like 2 seconds anyway, so your mileage may vary. Now, for the tutorial. The first thing is getting the position right. It's very close to where we do the setup for the arch grab, but instead we want to come a little more forward to in between these two lines here. And we want to be in the center as possible. Then we want to wait for Katana to say environment before we kill these two grunts. Then we want to aim roughly in this circle here. It's not very precise, this part. But what is precise is the timing of when to start holding backwards here. So I'm going to wait for the Banshee, the main part of the Banshee, to be going past that shadow. Then I'm going to start holding S. And you want to hold S and all the way until you back into the wall behind you, basically. And then you want to pause for half a sec to make sure the Banshee catches in the rim before you start moving towards it. Once it's in, you're good to go. And the next part, the eject. This is the most random, hardest part of it, really. You kind of want to jump up, bounce off the side, and then crouch. And this is going to take a lot of practice before you get consistent at it. Here's in slow motion, so I'm aiming for near the top, but not all the way at the top. Then I start bouncing off, and just after I bounce off, I start holding crouch. And if you're lucky, he will eject. Even if you have perfect movement, he won't always eject. So it kind of makes it hard to practice. You're just going to have to keep trying it over and over again. I'd say it's about a 1 in 4 chance all up the whole trick goes okay. Here's some more examples of me succeeding. But basically, yeah, getting him stuck in the corner, pretty consistent once you get good at it. Getting him to eject, coin flip. Here's what can happen if you don't kind of fall in the right way. There's a reason we want to bounce off the tail, is so that we have some downwards momentum so we can sort of catch the Banshee as we go. Otherwise this is going to happen where you just can't get into the Banshee fast enough because it's falling faster than you. Here's a few more examples of failing. Then this, like I said, this can happen just because you have bad movement or just because you're unlucky. Sometimes you just won't eject at all. Sometimes you'll twist around. Sometimes you do this spaz like that. If he does that, you're basically screwed. You can give up. Here's another success here. And this, I want to show off just what the sort of ideal path, at least in my opinion, is once you get him. Just for those first couple corners, it's want to be a bit more level than you usually would for arch grab, I guess. And this is why you don't want to need the shade like you would usually do in arch grab. Because if you do this, if you do it too late, it's actually going to fuck with the AI. And you'll see that as he comes forward, instead of going to the left, he's going to the right. Which is not what you want for this. But if you're really fast at getting into position and then shooting the grunts, you can still need the shade turret. But there's not really any point anyway. Because I mean, it doesn't save time like it does with arch grab. Just proof that it can still work. Alright, and here's just another example of what can happen if you just have bad positioning or bad timing. Sometimes you'll see that he's coming on this right angle instead of pointing to the left. And if he's like that, I mean, it's technically possible for him to eject, but it's very unlikely. Anyway, that's all I got. That's the end of the video. If you have any trouble with the trick, which you probably will, just drop a YouTube comment, or probably better actually if you hit us up on the Ailerons Discord. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck. See ya.